because it's not coming up over there. So it says I'm live. Hi. And I don't know how long I've been live for.
Like 2 seconds.
Okay. Yay. Now, again, my producer, who I'm not going to harass because he's really taking his time out of his own thing to help me out. So I really do appreciate him a lot. And we are almost up and running. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can. Can you hear me now? Can you? Thank you, Robert. Hear me now. All right, let's see. All right, TikTok. Yay! Okay. All right, Renee says, yes, they can hear me. We are up and running. All right, so this is the live example about how to overcome diversity. Just call your oldest son in and have him fix you. I am so sorry, YouTube. I have no idea what happened. Yes, we are all back. Gilbert's here. Sandy is here. Renee's here. I have TikTok here, who has been keeping me company while Robert's been fixing my computer. So what are we going to do today? Today is Monday, and it's all about facing diversity and just not giving up. I mean, like I said, it is just part of life, and it's just how you look at it. And you know what? What we're going to be talking about today is really quick. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about today is dressing your age. What does it mean? I'm going to show you some of the things that I got over at H&M, and I'm going to show you some of those fashions, some of the things I kept, some of the things I didn't. And then we're going to be talking about what's trending on YouTube. I'm going to be doing some unboxing. I'm going to give you some tattoo tips. But let's just start off with what just happened this morning. All right. I went on live. I had my TikTok right here. I could not get YouTube to hear me. And I had two options. One, I could have just been like, I'm going to give up. I'm not going to do it today. You know what? That's just what it is. And part of my brain, part of my way of thinking really wanted to do that. That's all part of my addictive thinking and what I struggle with sometimes on a daily basis. Because as we all know, I told you last week, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm always very open about talking about my struggles. And that is something that went through the back of my head. I'm like, you know what? Just forget it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give up. But that's not what we should do. You know, life is full of adversity. Life is full of times where you think something's going to happen and it doesn't happen. And it's all what you do with it. So that was a prime example of what you need to do with it. So today's coffee mug is nothing really super fancy. It says Starbucks right there. And it's kind of like a black shimmery kind of like cup. And this just kind of like went with my mood today. I was just in kind of like a real kind of like streamlined kind of mood. We woke up to go to the gym this morning and we didn't make it just because I just wasn't feeling 100%. And I never like to go to the gym unless I really feel good. So my mood for today is just kind of like, I don't know, kind of just streamlined kind of mood. But it is my little Starbucks cup. And yes, I do drink black coffee. All right. So this weekend was really good. I tried on all the stuff that I got from H&M and the majority of the stuff didn't fit. And truthfully, I could sit there and be like, you know what? It's me. I've gained a little weight. My stuff doesn't fit. But truthfully, I think from what I've been seeing and from what I've been buying and from what I've been reading in the reviews, it feels to me like H&M stuff is just getting smaller and smaller. And to me, it's just kind of weird. You know what? As a society, we're not this big. I mean, we're not teeny, tiny. And it makes it really difficult to go shopping or to shop online when you keep changing your sizes. So I kind of like had to deal with the whole mental thing of like, well, Lonni, you know what? You're going to have to size up. And sometimes that becomes more of a mental struggle than actually anything else. So 4 of my overalls are from H&M. Yeah, you know what? Hello, Bevo. And that's the thing. It's like I'm wearing Target overalls right now. And one of the things, and I'm going to show you what I bought at H&M. But one of the things I bought were some short overalls in a size small that should have fit that absolutely did not fit my body. So I had to go past that whole mental thing about, all of my stuff from H&M, nothing fit. And then also too, Robert and I recorded our podcast, We're in Trouble Now. And I want to talk to you really quick about the subject and kind of like, I'm trying to cross my legs and it's not working. And I want to talk to you about the subject for yesterday's or this morning's podcast, because Robert we kind of got in a heated discussion. Let's just put it that way. We didn't argue, but we definitely saw the subject in two entirely different ways. And I thought it would be interesting if we discussed that today, because truthfully, I want to know, was it me? Was I kind of off on this? Or is it like a subject that two people, the way I look at it, it's a subject that two people can truly have different opinions in. So without further ado, what I'm talking about is Robert kind of picked up on where I left off on what stops us from stopping ourselves. I find a lot of times that in my mind, I know what I need to do, but I stop myself from doing it. For example, I do promos every day for my lives, and I think that's a really cool idea. I like to tell you about what I talked about and kind of just do like a little recap. And what I did is I found myself stopping myself from doing it. So Robert picked up on that subject, and he was talking about procrastination and about how procrastination is kind of a conscious thought. That's what I'm trying to say. And I agree. In a normal person's brain, procrastination can be a normal thought. For example, I'm sober. I have been wanting to clean the ceiling fan behind me for a week, and I keep on procrastinating. I keep putting it off. I keep on doing something else. And then we started talking about like when he was younger and I had a drinking problem and I was a full-fledged alcoholic, how when I would start doing the housework, I never finished it. I started drinking and I never finished it. And he thought that that was a form of procrastination. And where we got into this discussion and where we really kind of had real kind of different points of views is that I felt that addiction is not procrastination. And he felt that it was still a form of procrastination. So I would really be very interested, whether you want to answer now or at a later date, what your thoughts are that. Because in my mind, when I went back to who I was and the way I was thinking when I was heavily drinking, I never purposely stopped doing the housework. It was almost like I had good intentions, and then the addiction came in and basically took over, and then I just let everything go. And to me, that wasn't conscientious procrastination. Whereas now, what I do today is I purposely procrastinate and I'm cleaning my ceiling fan. So that is such an interesting thought. Yes, and let's see here. Oh, so that's my thought. My thought is that if you're out there and if you are struggling with addiction of any kind, no matter what it is, whether it's drinking or some sort of substance or whether it's whatever it is, there are so many different multitudes of addiction. It is just insane. But if you're out there and you're struggling with that, and that's something that you do, if you have good intentions and for some reason you get sidelined, I really hope that you take it and you give yourself a little compassion. And that you give yourself in the compassion is that knowing that sometimes, even though we have conscientious good thoughts, our addiction sometimes seems to take over and it becomes the driving force. If you keep the ceiling fan on at all times, you never notice the dirt, my logic. And that is perfect logic. And you know what? And to me, I walk by it and I'm like, nobody ever looks up. You know what? I'm fine with it. And so, but to me, it was just that real parallel difference because I can literally go back in time, put myself into my body in that addictive state and be like, what was I thinking at that time? And it's almost like being controlled by an alien force. That's the only thing I can relate that to. It's like you no longer have control over your thinking sometimes. So it was, like I said, it was really interesting. And we were very respectful. I mean, I absolutely respected his point of view and his view on it. And he was very respectful of mine, which I think is awesome. And that just shows how much we have grown in our communication. But I just wanted to bring it up because, like I said, I thought it was kind of interesting. And I think that we all have our own coping skills and we all procrastinate in a certain way. And this is just one way to look at it. So that was Saturday. And like I said, it was really interesting and it got me to thinking. But also, too, to be like, on the other hand, I kind of made myself stop and think, was I using that as a cop-out? Was I actually more in control? So I don't know. It is such a broad subject, and it is something that we will talk about often because I'm really very proud of my sobriety and I'm proud of my journey. And I am very proud of being so open about it in the effort to help all of you or anybody that needs to hear it. Linda says, it is a symptom of ADHD. People with ADHD need stimulation at all time, and if a chore is boring, then they stop doing it. Yeah, I could absolutely see that because I've never been diagnosed with that, but I can definitely see me having those tendencies because even if I am watching TV, I've got my laptop open, I'm on my phone, I'm always multitasking. My brain is always doing more than just one thing. And that very well 100% could be a part of that. All right, so let's just see. Really quick, that I set reminders for myself to clean or the laundry. Yeah, you know what? And all of those little things absolutely help. But I can remember so many Sundays starting the laundry. I would start drinking at the same time and I would be passed out before I finished my laundry. And to me, that's not procrastination, that's addiction. And there was no conscious thought in that. That was just me being controlled. That's just me being controlled by something else. Strother Martin says, you talk about gray hair. I turned gray at 20. That's awesome. You see, I think gray hair is beautiful. And I'm going to tell you right now, my barber told me one time that gray hair is the only hair color that is not that you cannot replicate. All right. You cannot replicate somebody else's gray hair. You can have similar shades, but the gray herring pattern is so precise to your individuality that it can't be replicated. That's the word I was trying to get. So I find that I'm always striving to be original and to be authentic and to be different, that my gray hair just totally fits in with that. Which, by the way, I absolutely have been loving my blue highlight, and I bought overtone blue conditioner. So I will be adding blue to my hair in the mornings when I'm shampooing it, just to give it that bright, bold blue. All right. Oh my FG, you're too relatable. Then I can't understand why I can't sleep. Yeah. If I wake up and my brain even remotely starts to kick in, I'm done. I will lay awake for hours thinking and planning and doing this and doing that. So in the mornings, I either pull a self-love card from Dove, which is the self-love shower affirmations. But just given everything that happened this morning with not being able to have any sound on the first time I chimed on, I think we're going to do a dream oracle, and we're going to see what it has to say. Now, again, these are just cards that give you some sort of like reflection on what you should think about. I'm not reading anybody's fortune. And as always, remember, I pick the card without looking with my non-dominant hand because I want my subconscious to pick the card. I don't want to pick the card for me. So we are looking, and I believe that, hold on, I haven't found it yet. All right, this is the card we need. It says, oh, wow. Okay, it says, flip it upside down. Question your beliefs. All right. So, which is pretty interesting because I'm pretty adamant about my beliefs. So let's see what the universe is trying to tell us. Ooh, okay. It says, you ready? It says, what's true in the ordinary world is flipped on its head in the extraordinary world of dreams and the heroic life of magic and miracles. In ordinary life, I don't even know what this word is. That's a big word. In ordinary life, to run from things that scare you. Oh, in ordinary life, it's natural to run from things that scare you. But when you face those fears in a dream, you increase your personal power. In dreams, the tragedy of fire, flood, and destruction can symbolize rapid change and new birth. If you get stuck in black and white thinking, all you have to do is flip yourself upside down, literally or figuratively, to see the world from a dream's perspective. When the sky becomes the ground and the ground becomes the sky, you realize you have the freedom and the ability to flip reality on its head. No matter how rigid the belief or experience, it's just waiting for you to turn it around. It's all its fault becomes it's all my responsibility. And the she doesn't love me transforms into I am loved more than I could ever perceive. So it's okay. This is pretty interesting. Actually, this is really intriguing and it's making me stop and think. But and truthfully, it's basically stating that you need to look at things in different ways. You cannot get stuck in your absolutely my eye makeup is driving me crazy this morning. I keep looking at my eye like it's weird. So you just basically have to flip it out. So the ordinary world is flipped on its head in the extraordinary world of dreams and heroic life of magic and miracles. You have to remember your dreams. If you dream, you have to remember it. It is your subconscious talking to you, and you have to hear what it has to say. And a lot of times when people dream about death or destruction, like it said, it actually means that there's rebirth and change, because after a big old forest fire, it will have new growth. So you have to just look at the world in a different way sometimes. And maybe sometimes you know what? And here's what I'm going to take from it. Maybe sometimes I get so stuck in my view of sobriety and addiction that I don't see it from other people's opinions. And Robert, as a child, probably did look at it and see it as an act of procrastination, not as a look as addiction. So I'm going to look at it in a different way. And I'm not going to just give myself tunnel vision, because I find that I get really adamantly and very, I protect and I fight for sobriety a lot. So that's a way to look at it. So what are your thoughts on the California sober concept? I'm not a fan, but wanted your take. I don't even know what it means to be California sober. So let's find out. It doesn't sound like it's sobriety. What is California sobriety? Let's see what this means. All right, California sober is a term that has genuinely referred to abstinence from all drugs with the exception of marijuana. The thought behind this lifestyle is that drugs such as alcohol, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, or opioids cause significantly more damage and increase the likelihood of misuse and abuse. I'm going to tell you right now, and I hope you heard all that. So basically, California sober is that you abstain from everything but marijuana. And hopefully I can say that. Okay, so the other stuff, the green lettuce stuff. But personally for me, I can only respond to this as my individual sober journey as I can't do it. I cannot pick and choose what I can be addicted to. I don't have the capability of being like, I'm going to abstain from this, but I'm not going to do that. Or I can do this, but I can't do that. To me, I'm either sober or I'm not. There is no gray area with my sobriety. So I cannot and I will not even tempt myself with sometimes with things that might even hint towards an addictive tendency. I can't do it. I'm addicted to sugar. I can get addicted to working out. I can get addicted to shopping. I can do all sorts of things that are addictive that they don't have to just be a substance. So I, in my sobriety, am very cognitive and I am very aware of my danger zones. I'm very aware of if I'm doing something and I start to get that same little feeling in the back of my brain as to when I was drinking, I will immediately put a stop to it. So if you're out there and you can, or if you want to, that's 100% up to you. I think everybody's sober journey is 100% their own. One person's sober journey looks completely different than somebody else's. So if you want to do that and you can do it, you know what? All the power to you. Can it apply to me in my life? No, unfortunately, it cannot. I have an addictive personality, so I can't wrap my head around this. So I'm with you. Yeah. And you know what? And that's just the whole thing. It's like when I first got sober, I was so excited about my sobriety. That's all I did was talk about it. And I wanted everybody to share it. And I wanted everybody to find the same sort of sense of happiness that I found in my sobriety in their own life. And it got to the point where I felt like I was selling insurance. I was just like, this is great. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. And it wasn't perceived, and it wasn't perceived the way that I wanted it to. So I have learned in my sober journey to just be really happy with mine and just to support anybody else in their own journey. Jay Hughes says, "Hey Lonni, it's Opera Mama. It's been a minute. How you doing? You look great." Well, hello, Opera Mama. I'm doing good. Yes, it's been a while. I am making a comeback on TikTok. I'm telling you that right now. And I just changed my creator agreement with TikTok, so I'm going to be making longer videos over there. So it's been good, and it's been a good journey on social media. And I got two great platforms. I got my YouTube and I got my TikTok, and it's amazing. So let's talk about, so we talked about sobriety. We talked about procrastination. We have to look at the world in a different way. Now let's look at fashion and style over 50 in a different way, because you know what? Gilbert Day says, "I have a sugar, albeit in moderation." To me, if I eat one cookie, I'll eat the whole package. So it's just the lot in life that I was given. I think you nailed it. We all have different, so we need to be approaching things differently. Absolutely. And you know what? I would hate to have anybody ever tell me that my sober journey is wrong. So long as it works for me, it is 100% correct. All right, so let's get to this subject of fashion over 50. And this just drives me crazy, because not only do we get told, what to wear. Your tattoos aren't gonna look good. Your hair should be long. Your hair should be short. You should be this. You should be that. You. We get told on a constant basis what we're supposed to be doing in our life. And to me, I think it's ridiculous. 100%. I think having to dress a certain way because of your age is just absolutely ludicrous. All right. It is something that needs to stop immediately. Hello, Indy. Indy absolutely says it needs to stop. I came across a saying, and I say it all the time, and I want to share it with you. But it says that you should dress for your energy, not your age. So when you go shopping, or if you find something you like online, then you have to be like, Does it fit me as the person who I am on the inside? Not necessarily what it says on your driver's license or what you look like on the outside. All right. Never do I go shopping that I have to show my ID and be like, you know what, I'm younger or I can still wear this because of my age. It's a silly box that we put in ourselves. We put ourselves in. And we don't do it just because we feel like it, just for, giggles and whatever. We get told on a constant basis that growing old is something to be scared of. It's a form of age discrimination. Yeah, Linda, it is. For example, all right, we get told continuously that if you get to be older, you're going to stop enjoying life. You're not going to be as pretty. You're not going to be able to do as much stuff. I mean, look at the Hollywood. Look at the women in Hollywood, and each to their own, all right? And I'm never going to tell you not to get plastic surgery. I don't really care. You do what you want to do. I mean, I've had plastic surgery. I've had my done. And you know what? I am not one to say that you haven't. But I saw Meg Ryan, a picture of her, and she looked nothing like she usually looked like. I would not have recognized her if you had put her in front of me and told me, who do you think this is? And, there's so much pressure on women to look young that in Hollywood, especially, they have a tendency to do so much plastic surgery, you don't even recognize them. I mean, and it goes for the men also. I have an appointment for a lip filler on Thursday. I think that's awesome. You know what? Like I said, I am not against plastic surgery. I've had it myself. But it becomes to a point where I think you get so obsessed with trying to be young, you absolutely change your look. And if everyone would stay in their own lane and stop commenting on others, this would be a much cooler place. Absolutely. And okay, so let me take it back. All right, so, sometimes maybe if she likes the way she looks, I mean, that's just it, whatever. But what I was going to go, the point is that then you have people like Justine Bateman, who has absolutely been like, this is my face. You know what? I'm not going to do anything to it. And she is the one who is the standout. She's the one that's not the normal one conforming to all of these ideologies and all of these pressures to stay young forever. So we get all of these messages, whether they're subconscious, whether they're conscious, but we're constantly being told, I think plastic surgery can become an addiction. Absolutely. Just like anything else, it can become an addiction. So getting back to my original subject, man, I am all full of fire today. But dressing your age, I see all the time on social media, women my age who get like an outfit and they show their outfit and they get some really mean comments. They get like, you're too old to wear that, or, oh my gosh, your face is beat, or you look horrible. And it saddens me so much that they have to put up with that. And it makes me really cringe. And to me, it's like people use age as an insult, which 100% I don't believe age is an insult at all. You want to call me old? Thank you. You know what? My sister would have loved to have been as old as I am. My sister passed away when she was 47. You know what? Call me old. That means I'm winning this race. So that's the way I look at it. You tell me I'm too old to wear something, then that just reflects upon you. So I take this ideology of I am not going to listen to what society says. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I get worried about what I'm wearing, or if somebody tells me I'm too old to wear that, if I worry about what somebody else is going to think, I'm never going to be happy and I'm never going to find the true me. So I dress for my energy. I dress for the inner Lonni, not the outer Lonni. I dress for who I see myself in my mind. And in my mind, regardless as to how gray my hair is or how wrinkly my skin is or how my hip area isn't like what it used to be, by the time that I am done dressing and I'm walking out of my bedroom, I like what I'm wearing and I like the person looking back at me, regardless of my age. So, let's see here. It says, how am I supposed to dress my age when so many women my age dress differently? Some wear mini skirts with no makeup, long hair, short hair. It's like we can't win, so I play my own game. Absolutely. And that's just the thing. It's like people who are going to be that negative comment, people who are going to say mean things are going to say mean things regardless. So you might as well just live in the moment and wear what you want. And I am seeing a movement more and more and more on social media, women, older women my age, who are absolutely repeating that statement of wear what you want at any age. And the more women that do that, and the more women that get behind that, the more normal it's going to become. And then they're going to just fixate on something else. But Linda says, our culture doesn't respect age like others. And you are 100% correct. And that's one of the reasons why I let my hair go gray. And I let my hair go gray after my mom passed away. And I was with my mom every single day when she was in the hospital. And she passed away. She was in the hospital for maybe 2-3 weeks before she passed away. And it was during those 2 to 3 weeks that, I saw a decline in her. And she really, really at that time, I think she knew that her time was coming because she became very, she passed along a lot of wisdom. Let's just put it that way. So she's passing along all this wisdom and all these walls are down. And I am just reaping so many benefits from being there with her and sharing this experience and just absolutely loving her. I always love my mom, but we just had this just amazing vibe. And I was like, I am learning so much from my mom in the last weeks of her life. I wish I had learned more from her at a younger age. So, so what I realized after she passed away, how much wisdom we are not getting from our elders. As a society in the United States, we have a tendency to look at older people as a liability, not an asset. So when I decided that I wanted to be more impactful as an older person than I ever was as a younger person, that's why I let my hair go gray. So you're absolutely right. I don't think that we look at age as something to be respected. We look at age as something to be feared. Let's see here. Linda also says, after retiring, I wear what gives me joy as I had to wear a very boring uniform at work. Absolutely. And I 100%. Let's see here. There are so much you could expand on regarding that sometime. Courtney, you know what? And I will. And that's the beautiful thing about this live stream and about this morning show is that every time I do one of these, I 100% am sitting here in my mind and I'm like, we need to talk about that. We need to talk more about that because this is an ongoing conversation that we are going to have for the unforeseeable future. And I just want to make sure that I keep it entertaining for you because I don't want it to be something where it's like, oh my gosh, she's doing that again. She's talking about that again. You have a list going. Awesome. That's why I love you. You know what, Courtney? That is why you were so important to me. But, getting back to what we're going to wear. Now, what I do want to show you is I did a little video, over the weekend and I have it on the tube. I can't say it here on TikTok, but I have it up here. And I did a video showing everything that I bought at H&M not too long ago. And what we're going to do really quick is we are going to take a look at the outfits. Because when I first started social media and I would Google fashion over 50, what I found, I was like, I don't want to wear that. I don't want to have to wear that just because I'm 50. I look horrible in beige and I like to have a little pizzazz. And it says, when you look at fashion over 50, a lot of times online, regardless as what you're looking at, you're seeing over and over again a very dull palette, a very matronly look, lots of polyester. And I'm like, not on my watch, people. This isn't going to happen. So it's been a really enjoyable opportunity for me to be like, nope, we're going to do something different. So what we're looking at here on is that white, it's a white cargo shirt that I got. No, white cargo skirt. I absolutely love this skirt, and this is how I said I wanted to wear it. I would have this white cargo skirt, which is a cute little white tank top, and then I have those really cute denim slip-on Zara shoes, which just happen to be the product that I of the day. Are these so cute Zara tennis shoes? Absolutely love these. I'm going to be wearing these all summer long. You know, I have a thing about my toes. I'm going to be covering them up, and I'm going to be wearing these shoes. I also have, I'm not too sure if you know this or not, but I do have a Shop My Look affiliate links where you can shop my closet, you can shop my makeup, you can shop my home goods, you can shop all sorts of different things. Oh, so who posted a link? Streamlabs says, oh, okay. All right, so somebody tried to post a link and Streamlabs said, please don't do that. We're learning something new. All right, so I got this white cargo skirt and I absolutely love it. Kara Rhodes is on. And just so you know, Kara, I appreciate you so much for making my live. I am so sorry for the passing of your mom. She is my cousin, and I don't have very many family members that I'm still in contact with, but she is one of the very few of my cousins that I have any sort of communication with. So, hi, Kara. All right, so this is just a really cute cargo skirt. I got it in an extra small. Just like I was saying, for some reason, H&M style is just, driving me crazy. I cannot figure out what size I am at H&M right now, but I'm going to go return these, and when I get back, if they have a size small, I'll pick it up. If not, I'll just return it. So I wore it with a white tank, again, my blue slip-on shoes, and I thought it was really cute. Now, I also got this really cute, we have an ad going, so there we go. So I also have this really cute little black jersey dress, and it's this really cute little mini. I got it in a size small. Again, it ended up being too small. It just wasn't, okay. Yeah, you know what? I didn't think that you would post links, and I'm not really too sure why they gave that warning. So, you know, yeah, just keep doing your thing. So I really did like this dress. The small was too small. Again, when I go back and if they have it in a medium, I might pick one up. The only way that I like this dress was with a little bit of like a top over the top, and then it just looked like a mini skirt. So it's like, why even bother? Another thing I got was those cute cropped pants. And I absolutely love these. They have the zebra stripe. Again, TikTok, you got to check it out. My video is up there. I absolutely love these pants, and I'm keeping those. I got those in an extra small, and I really liked it with this little vintage jacket. And then this Herschel fanny pack. I get people asking me about this all the time. And this is just one of those little fanny packs. It's from Herschel. I've had this for a long time. And I went looking for it because I wanted to give you all a link, but I can't find this anywhere. So I can't show you the exact one, but this one is about 17 inches because they come in different sizes. They have 15, they have 16, they have 17. This is a little bit of a larger one. It fits just about everything, and it has this cute little straps. And what I have in here right now is Indy's poopy bags, because I put those as crossbody bags, and I bring this on my walk every time. I'm using a 9 guard on my clipper. I think the 12 was a little bit too long for me, and the 16 is definitely too long. So I use a 9 guard on my Philips Norelco trimmer. Let's see here. Linda says, hi, Lonni. When I went to the bridal store for my daughter's wedding, the outfits for the mother and the bride were cringeworthy. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine that. I can only imagine like what you had to look at and what you had to pick from. All right. So I really love those. Now, I'm all about shorts. I'm wearing shorts this year. I don't care. I don't care if my legs are perfect. I don't care if they're crepey, cringy, whatever. I'm wearing shorts. And I found the cutest pair of cargo shorts from Zara. Those were those white ones. I did a little TikTok and a short on that, and I absolutely loved them. So I'm like, these Bermuda shorts, these are absolutely going to be my go-to shorts, and I got them and I didn't like the way they fit. They were too tight in the hips and too loose in the waist. And if you're going to give me an oversized fit kind of shorts, make them oversized in the hips. You know what? We're ladies. We're supposed to have little figures, and you just got to give us room for us to put our hips in there. So these are going to go back just because, again, like I said, I didn't like the fit. I'm not going to keep on, I'm not going to keep on starving myself to try to have some ideology of what I'm supposed to look like. I'm just going to buy clothes that fit me and enhance my shape, period. Again, I'm not going to go on a starvation diet just to try to fit into clothes that aren't going to fit me regardless. So then I found these cute little overalls. They're short overalls, and I have been eyeballing the Ziggy ones from the Free People website, but they're like $80. So I found these on H&M, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to get these. These are going to be great, and they were horrible. Again, I don't know what kind of shape we're supposed to have. They were super high-waisted, and then the bib on this was like up past my chin, and it was just crazy to me how ill-fitting they were. So these are 100% going back. And you know what? I'll just have to swallow the price and get the ones that I want from Free People, because I'm not getting the fit that I want from H&M. I'm sorry, H&M. I did my best. I went to the store. I found cute stuff. And if I can't make them fit, I'm not going to wear them. And then the last thing I got is, again, like the white shorts that I got from Zara that were so cute. These shorts, they were so tight. They're black, but they were so tight through the waist or through the hips that your pocket did that really weird kind of like hanging open kind of thing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. You know what? I'm tired of making myself feel bad about myself because I cannot fit into these styles. Ugh! So that was my little shopping adventure. Don't worry, I am going to post something later today for you. And it is just amazing that, I don't know, having to be over 50 and wearing what you want, you know what, maybe my body's just a different shape than when I was 20. Maybe that's the problem. But you know what, regardless as to what it is, it's something that I have to deal with, and it's something that I'm not going to give up. So, and yes, Kara, I am going to show off my figure. I'm going to be okay with my body, again, at any age. All right, so what do we want to do? Let's see here. Let's see, we talked about the podcast. Okay, tattoo tips of the day. Let's go ahead and we're going to talk about that because we're going to start talking about tattoos. She says sometimes, and you know what? The username is ECK3505. I am going to, if you could leave me a comment, I would love to know your first name because I don't want to always refer to you as X3505. But she says, sometimes we need to invest in more expensive for the quality or fit. It sucks, but they last. That is one of the reasons why I'm such a fan of Free People. You know what? Free People, continuously, their sizes always seem to fit me. I'm wearing a Free People top with my Target overalls. And you're right. And that's just the whole thing. I find myself sometimes spending more money on cheaper clothes that don't quite fit than just buying one good thing and keeping that. Off to adult. Have a great day. I'll be posting links later. Yep, you and your link posting. Linda says clothing companies like H&M skip on fabric. Yeah, you know what? And that's just the whole thing. It's like they're a hit and a miss for me, and they're a company that was always for me. Like I could find a couple of things and add them to my more expensive items in my closet, and they were a great way to boost my closet and to give me more things to choose from. But I haven't been able to do that lately, and it's kind of a bummer. All right, so tattoo tip of the day. Let's talk. Oh, Erin. Okay, Erin, thank you so much for being so active. You know, with that link posting, we'll have to talk about that later, but that's okay. So tattoo tip of the day. All right, so here's a couple of things that I really want to talk to you about. If you're out there and you're thinking about getting your first tattoo, all right, you're like, I really want one, but I don't know if I want one. My suggestion is going to be, and it has always been, to start small. Pick out a cute little design, whether it's a flower, a bee, a mushroom, I don't care what it is, but make it a nice little small tattoo. Kind of something around, you know, it can be as small as my little bear claw. It can be as small as like my little sun and moon right there. It can be a smaller tattoo, but I say start small. Figure out if you like it. Do you like tattoos? Do you like the experience? Do you like your artist? Is it a positive thing that you have just done? Because it's gonna be there forever. And if you walk out of there with your small tattoo and you like it, then you know that tattooing is for you. You know that that's where you want your path to be. But if you don't like it, then you're not stuck with this massive tattoo that you're not really vibing with. Now, the counterpoint to that is, and I've had discussions with my artist on this, because Brian says to go big. He's like, just go in, get a big piece. You know what? You're going to want it later anyway. And I disagree with him on that, because I think that if you go in and you have this huge piece and you don't have that warm, fuzzy feeling, you're stuck with this huge piece on you. So I say start small, but give yourself a design that you can add to and turn it into that big piece. So, you know, again, that's my opinion and that's my tip. And I think that a lot of times people stop themselves from getting that first tattoo because they're under the ideology that it has to be this massive piece. You know, it has to be a back piece, it has to be a sleeve, it has to be this, or it has to be that. And it does not always necessarily have to be that way. Now, another thing is like my sleeves, I have two totally different sleeves, all right? I have one, it's backwards on the camera, but I have one that's a solid sleeve, all right? It didn't start out that way. My sleeve started off almost looking like this one right here, and then I filled it in. I started off with this flower right here for my sister, and then I got a little bit more, and then I started adding more and more and more and filling it in. So it can grow. Your little small tattoo can start out very small and then end up something big. I mean, this arm started off with this right here, which is kind of hard to see, but this used to be a heart with Robert's and Brandon's name on it. And that's what I saw. You know what? I was at a training class one time and some girl had a tattoo right there on her wrist. And I'm like, that is what I want. I want a tattoo on my wrist right there. So I went to the tattoo shop, cost me $100, and I got this little heart right here. It didn't really stand the test of time. So what I did is I had that incorporated to be the roots of my tree of life. So you can take a small tattoo, you can add to it, you can have your tattoo journey grow organically with you, that it doesn't always have to be, again, this big giant piece that you're committing yourself to, that you're gonna add to it. So that's my tip for the day, is just give yourself a break and don't be all like it has to be massive, because it doesn't have to be that way. Now, almost forgot. We have to open up our makeup. I almost forgot to do that. And that would have been tragic because I have to see. Thank you so much. I have to see what we got because I'm going to do my makeup with this stuff tomorrow. Now, this is a company called GenSee, which is GenSee. And I will tag the products, but they sent me some makeup and they're like, well, what do you want? I'm like, I don't care. Just send me whatever you think would look cute and I can use as my daily makeup. So let's see what we got. Drum roll, please. Because I really, right now, I do really like the eyeshadow that I have on. And, okay. So, we have... Okay, so GenSee is always clean, highly performance color, vegan and cruelty-free, plus, plus, plus. We have sustainable, recyclable packaging. It's ethical, inclusive business practices, never any fragrance. Thank you again, Robert. No fragrance, no nanoparticles, and no phthalates. I don't know what that is. I tell you, this is a day of big words. All right, so let's see what we got. So it's clean makeup. Okay, we have clean sheen. This is cheek and lip. So the color on this one is, it says dragon fruit. So it's a little thingy right here, and this is for your lip and your cheek. So let's just take a little looky right now. Oop. So that's the color. And okay, so it's definitely, yeah, it's a cute color. So I'm going to be having this on my cheeks and my lips tomorrow. And now I'm stuck with product on my finger because, again, that's what I always do. So this is, ooh, metallic, it's so weird, metallic liquid eyeshadow. And it looks like the color is Bronze Age. So it's going to kind of go with the whole kind of brown kind of thing. See, it's bronze. So my eyes will be bronze tomorrow, which I really like that. So I'll have red lips and bronze eyes. Then we are going to have Pick Me Up Lip. This is matte lipstick. Ooh, maybe I'll have a nude lip. Who knows? So we are going to look at that. And this color is Margaret. Sure, I'm saying it wrong, but we're going to call this Margaret. Ooh, that's a really pretty kind of like mauve color. So I like that. Courtney says that somebody on TikTok says that my tattoos look like a Free People shirt. And you know what? I can totally get that because sometimes I will wear a real flowered shirt and it looks like it's a long sleeve shirt, but it's not. Okay, so I got some more lip gloss and this is color Crystal Clear. So I am going to just use my powers of detectiving and I'm going to say that this is a clear lip gloss. And I'm 100% correct. It's clear. So I got some clear there. So we are also going to, ooh, I got some mascara. And the color is black. So I'll be trying some new black mascara tomorrow. And then brow powder gel. Interesting. Because I have been using some e.l.f. product. I use the e.l.f. brow pencil and then I go in with that NYX brow glue and I saw this on TikTok and I will take the brow glue and I'll just be like and my eyebrows are all standing up and bushy like a caterpillar and I let that dry for a little bit and then I'll go in with my little spoolie and I'll kind of like shape them where I want and that's been working really well for me. But we are going to try this this product tomorrow, which looks very much like, I'm not going to do it. If I do it, I know I'm going to mess up my brows and I'm not going to do that. So We have mascara, brow, some eye, and some lip and blush. So I'll do brush and lips with this, with my eyeshadow, my brow, and my mascara. So that's going to be my makeup for tomorrow. So you have to tune in tomorrow to see what the makeup looks like. And I will, what I'll do is I will put a link for everything that they sent me. So if you want to check anything out, you can do that also. And I wanted to talk to you about some comments I got, and I did not bring my iPad, but I already know the comments and we're going to talk about them. One of them is about the short that I did, and I did a TikTok on this, and it was about using Sanoderm on my Cobra tattoo. And I am getting inundated with people telling me that I'm not supposed to use saran wrap like that. And I'm going to tell you right now, Sanoderm is not saran wrap. Sanoderm is a second skin that is breathable, and do not use saran wrap like how I showed you how to use Sanoderm. It is not going to heal right, and it is going to be not good. Another thing is if you want to use Sanoderm for the very first time, try a skin test on your placement, wherever you're going to get your tattoo, and you want to heal it with Sanoderm. Cut a little piece off, put it on there, wear it for a couple of days. Make sure that you don't have an allergic reaction to it before you get your tattoo and you put it on. If you don't do a skin test and you decide that you want to heal with a Sanoderm and it starts to sort of be like itchy, or if you feel that you're getting an allergic reaction to it, take it off. Don't keep it on. That is not something that you want to do. For the lady out there who told me that my Cobra tattoo was not a good tattoo for a woman, I personally don't think tattoos nor tattoo designs have a gender. I don't think that when you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out what kind of tattoo you want, you have to figure out if it's appropriate for a woman or not. Get whatever you want. It's your skin. It's your individuality. Do whatever you want. Again, we get told what to wear at a certain age. I'm not going to be told what tattoo to get because of my gender. It's called individuality. It is called freedom of self-expression. And I'm not going to allow anybody to stop me from having that, including the user who told me my tattoo was a guy tattoo, which I think is absolutely insane. Again, I was going to show you my tattoo, but that means I have to get up, and I don't want to get up. I had somebody ask me, what do I do to stay in shape? And which is kind of funny because sometimes I tell you all the time that I'm struggling with like an extra 10 pounds. But I do have a routine that works for me. What I do is I get up and I go to the gym every morning. I'm up at 4. I'm in the gym by 4:30. I do a weightlifting routine with Robert. I take Indy for a 2-mile walk every single day. And most importantly is I'm a vegetarian and I don't drink. Alcohol is not only is it not good for me, it's an unnecessary weight. And so I'm a vegetarian, I don't drink alcohol, and I am trying to cut out on sugar, and I just stopped eating bread. For some reason, my little body is like, you know what, I'm just going to hang on to this. Maybe it was all the grilled cheese sandwiches that I was eating along with cookies for dessert. Maybe that had something to do with the 10 pounds I just gained. I don't know. So that is what I do. And then also last Friday, I showed these little things that you put underneath your eye. And these are really cool little things that you stick them underneath your eye and you put your eye makeup on. All right. And I said that these little things stick like crazy. So when I put these on, I'm like, la, 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 I'm going to do my makeup. And I go to take them off. It's like, and my eyes like all stretching out. And I'm just like, this hurts. And it was a little irritating to my eyes. So I had somebody suggest to take it, and then you take the back off, and then you put it on your hand, and you put it on and you take it off a couple of times to get rid of that real intense stickiness. Now, this is how sticky it is. All right? You put that underneath your eye and you go to you go to take it off, and this is what you have to deal with. Watch. Imagine that underneath your eye. It hurts. So she said to put it on and take it off a couple of times, which is exactly what I did this morning. I kind of got like that real intense stickiness off of it. And then I put it on. And I put it on. I don't like to get it too close to my eye just because it feels weird. But then I put it on and I put my makeup on. And then I'm all like, and it lifted right off. So if you want to use one of these products, but you don't want to have that super sticky adhesive right underneath your eye, I 100% doing that and then putting it on, and it's the world of difference. Linda says, do you do any kind of cardio? I walk on the treadmill for 5 minutes before I do my weight training, and then I walk Indy at a very fast pace, and it is a very fast pace. And it's about a 40-minute walk, about 40 minutes, and it's like uphill, downhill. And that's really the only cardio I do right now. Now, I am dealing with this situation right here, and I went into the garage and I got my hula hoop out, all right? I'm gonna hula hoop. Well, the hula hoop I got is like 6 feet wide. I mean, it is a big hula hoop, and I had to find a hard place of finding someplace in my house that I wasn't knocking things off the table. And Indy absolutely hates the hula hoop. She would sit there and just be like, don't worry, Mom, I'm going to save you. And she'd be like, la, 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 la. So here I am. I'm trying to hula hoop in a house, not knock things off, and get my 80-pound pit bull to not try to save me from the hula hoop. So where I'm going with this is that I have been seeing on TikTok a lot, like those little itty bitty hula hoops that are kind of weighted. And then you do that, and that's supposed to really, do you like my simulation of what I'm going to look like doing a hula hoop? So I'm going to get one of those because I think that those are really going to help in my midsection. Before COVID, I actually used to run, and I was running anywhere between 3 to 5 miles a day, like 5 days a week. And then after COVID, after the lockdown, I actually got COVID, and I tried to run again, and I just wasn't getting the same sort of like positive experience out of it. That doesn't mean I'm not going to start running again. It just means I don't run again. So that's really the only cardio. It's really the only cardio that I do is, again, walking, and the little bit of the treadmill that I do. And there's a lot of benefits to walking. I mean, sometimes people think like you have to do like this crazy cardio to get any benefits from it. And really, truthfully, you don't have to. It's more of the consistency and just how much you raise your heart rate. So don't worry about having to be like super duper like cardio. Just find something that works for you. You know, jump rope, do a hula hoop, go take your dog for a walk. Just, you got to get up and move. And, you know, that's the most important thing. So that was the episode for today. Lots of fun. No, really quick, I did post my H&M shopping one, and I have to take my stuff back to H&M. So I'm thinking that I'm going to go to the Gap. Do you know how long it's been since I've been to a Gap? But I saw a TikTok, and it showed, she's like, oh my gosh, look at all these great things I found at the Gap. And I'm like, is the Gap still around? So I found one. There's one at the mall, and I think I'm going to go and I'm going to record myself there. Then I had somebody ask me if I would go and do a shopping video at Free People. And I'm like, yes, you only have to ask me once on that. So this week I'm going to drive, and I'm going to go to a Free People store, and I'm going to take you there. And then while I'm there, I'm going to visit another thrift store and see what I can have. So that's some of the fun stuff. Yes, jump roping is a great one too. And again, we all get like these thoughts in our minds like, oh my gosh, I need to jump rope like Rocky. I need to be like, not necessarily the case. You know, if you sit out there and you jump rope until you need to take a break and then you just sit there for a couple of minutes and then you jump rope again, it's the same thing. We just have to get over these thoughts that they have to be extreme. You know, like working out has to be super crazy and super extreme. And it just doesn't have to be that way. Did you hear Pam? She was all like, meow. She agreed. So we had a little bit of a rocky start this morning. I'm not going to lie. It kind of worried me this morning when the volume wouldn't, when you all couldn't hear me. But we got through it, and I am so happy we did. So tomorrow we are going to dedicate tomorrow's episode to tattoos. We're going to talk about, again, you know, some tips for your first tattoo, some great aftercare tips, the whole ideology of, you know, you're too old for a tattoo, you're too old to have them, you're too old to get them. We're going to just kind of explore the whole concept of tattoos in a whole, you know, jobs, whether or not they're right, whether or not they're wrong. We're just going to, comments that you hear, we're going to just do everything tattoo tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited about that one. I will be coming with some products that I use and recommend. Again, it's not a sponsored one. These are things that I really, really, really do use. So until tomorrow, remember, be bright, be bold, be brave. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Thank you for all the comments. I love you all dearly. And I will see you tomorrow with my GenSee makeup on. And we're going to have fun again tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Love